Hey everybody, welcome back to Drum Soup. Today we're going to explode another canon. We're going to look at an alternative to the Blakey Shuffle on some classic tunes such as Moanin, Blues March, whatever it is that you find yourself always playing a Blakey Shuffle on. Well, what if you were instead to do a Purdie Shuffle? Let's take a look at that. So we all know the Blakey Shuffle. It's a nice, simple jazz pattern. 4 on the floor on the kick. So with your snare, you're doing a shuffle pattern. So that's the way Art does it on Moanin. That's the way he does it on Blues March. And it's pretty much what's going on throughout that song, either of them. And that's fine and everything. It just can get a little boring, even if you could play it like Art Blakey did. So what if we were to instead do a Purdie Shuffle? A la Bernard Purdie, and the way that he did it on Babylon Sisters, Home at Last. Bonham does a variation of it on Fool in the Rain. Grapevine Fires, Death Cab for Cutie, you'll hear it. It's actually what is being done on the Roseanne Shuffle. With just some minor variations. But primarily, it's a shuffle, grace notes filling in the trips, and then nice heavy accent on 2 and 4. So it comes out like this. The niceties to a Purdie Shuffle are the hi-hat openings and closings, and you can play with those all kinds of ways. Babylon Sisters, Bernard is opening it on every quarter note on the chorus, and throughout the rest of the song it's opening on 2 and 4. Same thing on Home at Last, but just slightly different. Porcaro's openings on Roseanne are slightly different. So that's the artistry for a Purdie Shuffle. I recommend any drummer that really wants to have some fun spend, I don't know, maybe a year just playing with the Purdie Shuffle and just listening to it and really paying attention to it and just making it their own, because it's a wonderful feel and it's just fun to play with. So let's take a look at what a classic Blakey Shuffle song would sound like with a Purdie Shuffle instead. I'm going to do Moanin', but I'm actually going to do Tommy Ego and the Birdland Big Band's version instead of one of Blakey's. And that band is a long bass solo right off the start, and I'm just going to fast forward through a lot of that, mostly because I'm just not sure that I would necessarily play a Purdie Shuffle for very long under a bass solo. My rule with bass solos is this, and I got this rule from a couple of my favorite bass players, is they like to say, stay out of my register. And there's so much kick, and it's so hi-hat centric. If you really want to do a Purdie Shuffle that sounds nice, and I prefer to stay on the ride, even the bell of the ride if possible. throughout bass solos and give my bassist minimal kick drum throughout their solo. So let's take a look at what it sounds like. And I think you get the idea from there. So there you have it, Moanin with a Purdie Shuffle. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give me a like. If you hate it, give me a dislike. Let me know why you hate it. Give me some argument here. If you've got something else that you think would be totally outrageous to do with Moanin or any song, put a comment down below and let me know what you think. And hopefully I'll see you back here in a couple of weeks. If you like the content, hit the subscribe button, and then I'll definitely see you back here in a couple of weeks. Thanks for coming.